Hello and welcome to Tips and Glitter Dips. My name's Jen and I'm so excited you're here. If you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much for being a part of my YouTube family. Today I just wanted to share kind of a probably be a pretty quick video, but I wanted to recreate this St. Patty's Day look I created just a minute ago with you on my non-dominant hand. So I'll be doing it with my dominant hand. I did a little bit of stamping, so I thought we could do kind of a stamping tutorial. And I also used some clear dip powder and some like funky green sequins to create this look on my ring finger. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a fabulous St. Patty's Day, if you celebrate or not. My husband has some Irish blood in him, so sometimes, yeah, I can imagine we'll indulge in maybe some green food and he might have a Guinness or two just to celebrate. But yeah, I hope you enjoy and come along with me while I create it. So the first thing that I do is I get my nails prepped. I'm using full cover jelly tips. So they're already prepped, ready to go, buffed, all set. We're going to do the ring finger first just because it's the messiest. When I do this process, I tend to use cupcake liners. So this is like a really big loaf size one, which I really like because it's just really nice and big. But that way when I'm finished, I can literally pour it into a pot and the glitter doesn't go everywhere. I'm using these really kind of cool sequins. They kind of give like a little bit of a like kind of snakeskin effect, but I really liked how they worked out. Because they're kind of translucent, as you can see if I shake them out here, you can kind of see through them. What I did is I did put a coat down of green polish. So the polish I used was the solid gel polish, the Ivy number 9 from Vetsy. So I'm going to put a single really thin coat down just so it's not clear. And then I will come back and I'll show you how I apply the sequins and that process. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and put on one coat of that solid green polish. Now what I'm going to, and I've cured for 30 seconds. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a coat of the base coat. I'm using the foundation base gel from Beetles, but you can use any base gel you have. And then I'm going to dip my finger without curing, so do not cure before. And then I'm going to dip my finger in the sequins and then I'll show you the next step. All right, so as you can see, I picked up a bunch of the sequins in that wet base coat, and now I'm just going to go around my nail and kind of push on any of the sequins that are overhanging, flick off the sequins that are just on my, that kind of have attached to my skin, or any extra ones. The great thing is the base coat is wet, so we have lots of time. It's not going to cure until we cure it, so we have lots of time to kind of move the sequins around until we're happy with the way the nail looks. So I like the way that is looking. I'm pretty happy. It's even, and I think it looks really good. So now I'm going to go ahead and cure this nail under a lamp for 60 seconds, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. All right, I am back. That has cured for a full 60 seconds. So now I'm going to take some clear dip powder or clear acrylic powder. I'm using dip powder. This is from Nail Candy, and I just have the little cat sticker on it, so I know that this one's been used with glitter. Just in case I'm doing dips. So I'm going to take that base gel again and I'm going to do another coat on top of the cured sequin coat. You want it to be like normal. You don't want like too much base gel, but you do want to make sure it gets into all those nooks and crannies. Because what we're going to do is we're going to fill this in. So we're going to dip our nail that has that wet base gel. I'm going to dip it in the clear powder. So I like to dip, hold it for a few seconds, tap it off. And as you can see, it still kind of looks a little bit wet in places because it's kind of filling in those gaps. So I'm going to dip it again, wait a couple seconds, oops, and then tap it back off. So now I kind of have 2 coats of that clear dip powder. Do not trust the process. I know it looks horrible right now, but it will look like this. So after I've dipped, let the powder set for a few minutes, or a few seconds, I should say, about 30 seconds. Then I'm going to cure this for 30 seconds. And then we are going to come back and we're going to buff it and shape it. And yeah, and then we'll be able to move on to the rest of the nails. All right, I filed, shaped, buffed that nail. It's nice and smooth to the touch. So what we basically did was encapsulate those sequins in clear dip powder. And it gives a really cool effect once we put that shiny coat on, which we'll do when we finish our nails. The next step is just to simply paint the rest of our nails with that base coat of color. So I picked out 2 colors that I thought kind of screamed St. Patty's Day. B033 from Beetles and B028 also from Beetles. So this is that really, really nice, beautiful kind of Kelly green and then a really shiny gold. So what I'm going to do is just paint that base layer on the rest of my fingers, and then I'll come back and we'll get to the nail art. All right, so as you can see in that sped up footage, I have done my base coats. I did 3 coats of each color, curing in between each coat, and then I did buff. The reason I buffed my nails was because I am stamping on 2 of them, and I find a buffed nail surface works better for stamping, and because I was buffing one, I buffed them all so that they all kind of have that same coat when I add the top coat. Buffing doesn't hurt the nail anyway. I have 3 beautiful coats, so even though like on my buffer you can see a little bit of the green came off, you're still not being able to see through. It's completely opaque. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to add my little rhinestone embellishments, just because that is easy. The stamping is very messy, and I like to leave that right to the end because it is quite a messy kind of process. So I've already pulled out the rhinestones. They're on my little tray here. I will use I'm using a rhinestone picker, and then I'm also using the nail glue from Model 1's, the nail glue gel. This is really, really good for applying rhinestones. If I can just get it open here. So I will be using that. And then I just use a dotting tool to pick up that gel. And you're going to notice I'm just going to put it kind of along that cuticle line. I'm putting 5 on my pinky, and then I'll put 7 on my thumb just because my thumb is really large. So yeah, I'm just going to apply a little bit of that gel along that line, apply the gems, and then I'll cure for a full 60 seconds. I'm also going to apply this really pale green star just near the cuticle on my ring finger. So I will also be applying that. So this will be sped up, so it's not in real time, but I hope you enjoy. All right, so rhinestones have been applied. I'm really happy with the way they're looking. So really happy with that. So now we're going to do these two fingers and we're going to do some stamping. We're going to create just kind of a random kind of flurry of four-leaf clovers on the gold. So we'll do that first. I am using the stamping plate from Clear Jelly Stamper. It is CJSH-01. It's one of their small ones. As you can see, you can create a rainbow, but we're going to be using the clovers up top and then this stackable pot of gold, which we will put on our green finger. So we're using that. I have a Clear Jelly Stamper scraper. I have just a non-fluffy Q-tip to help with cleanup. I have lots of lint-free wipes and some acetone off to the side. And we're going to be using the square stamper from Clear Jelly Stamper. This one is one of my favorites. I also have a small piece of sticky tack paper there as well to clean my stamper. So that is all of the supplies I'm using. So we're going to start off with the gold one, the gold finger with the green. I'll show you kind of an example of how I do one, and then I'll just do a sped up version of how I kind of fill in that finger. So we're going to be using these 4 clovers up top. The plate is clean, and to give that bright green color, we're going to use the stamping polish from Clear Jelly Stamper in 011. It's this really, really nice bright green. So these are pretty straightforward. You're just going to take the stamping polish, be generous with it, and you're just going to, I kind of blob it over the first 2. So you want it quite thick. And then I'm going to, process is quite quick. I then am going to take my scraper and I'm going to scrape that across all 4 using a rolling motion. I'm going to pick up all the clovers. 3 of them picked up pretty well. I don't know if you can see, 2 of them not so well, but that's okay. So we are going to stamp on that gold. So if we just look through this stamper and then we're just going to push down. And that didn't go because I was too slow because I was chatting. I can try this one, but I can't imagine it'll stick. Oh, actually, that one did stick, so that's awesome. So how we're going to clean this up is we're just going to rub it on that sticky tack paper, and it will pick it up and clean up that jelly. How I clean off the little kind of mistake we made there, I just have my acetone bottle here. I just put a little bit in the lid, put some acetone on that Q-tip, and then I can just really easily wipe that off, just like that. So that's kind of how we do that process. Now that the plate is dirty, I do have to clean it up. I'm just going to use a lint-free wipe soaked in some acetone, give it a nice little scrub. It's nice and clean, and then repeat the process. So this will be sped up, but you can watch me add some clovers to my gold finger. All right, I hope that footage you can see the stamping process. I hope it's in focus and you can kind of see. It's hard doing it from this angle with the camera above me, but I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's not exactly like this one, but it has the same kind of look. So now we're going to create this really funky gold pot or pot of gold on my other finger. So to create this, we're using 3 different colors. So we're using 045. These are all the stamping polishes by Clear Jelly Stamper. So 045 is that beautiful silver. Sorry, my cat is rustling a bag behind me. I have 001, which is black. And then this one doesn't have a number, but it's a beautiful gold color. It didn't come with a number, so I'm not 100% sure what number that is. So we're going to be doing the pot of gold. So the base is going to be that silver. So that's that first stamp. Then we're going to do the outline in black, which is this one. And then this part right here is the gold. I love Clear Jelly Stampers plates because they allow for that stacking, and it really creates like a 3D kind of beautiful effect. So you don't have to do the reverse stamping. So I really, really like their plates for that. So you can follow along. Again, this will be a sped up process. I hope you enjoy. All right, the stamping's done. As you can see, I struggled a little bit with picking up that black bit for the pot, so I had to do it actually a total of 3 times before I picked it up clear enough. And as you can see on this one, it didn't pick up the whole kind of handle, but I used it anyway. But that's just is doing it quick enough, basically. But I am really happy with how they turned out in the end. Yeah, really, really impressed. So now the last thing to do is top it off with a shiny top coat and then add some cuticle oil. So as I do that, I'll just kind of finish out the video. I hope that everybody has been having a good winter. I know winter can be really hard for people. It's kind of hard for me, and just finding motivation to like get outside and get some of that vitamin D is sometimes difficult, but it is good for us. I know here in Canada where I live, it is very, very dry and cold and snowy, so it definitely does not feel like spring yet. I don't know about where you are in the world. I hope that the weather is nicer wherever you are. As always, if you are not yet subscribed, please click that subscribe button. It literally means the world to me. And leave a comment down below. I'd love to know if you are celebrating St. Patty's Day or not. And if you are celebrating St. Patty's Day, what do you kind of do as a tradition for St. Patty's Day? Do you go out and have a couple of drinks? Do you eat green food? Do you wear a silly garb to work? Yeah, let me know if you kind of celebrate this silly holiday, or if you're Irish and it is not a silly holiday and it is actually a really important day for you. I always like to take part in all the exciting kind of events that go on. Especially when I was younger, I really enjoyed going out and partaking in the St. Patty's Day parties. The music was always fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed that. All right, so I'm going to finish doing this top coat, and I'm going to cure for a full 60 seconds, and then we'll come back for the final look. I'll be right back. All right, so I've put on some cuticle oil to kind of finish off the nail look. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It looks fantastic. The stamps are so cute. I love the kind of effect you get from the sequins being encapsulated, and then the rhinestones just add that little bit of shine. I hope you guys really like the look as well, and thank you so much for following along with me. Frugal Friday is coming up, so that will be up this Friday. But as always, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're well, and I hope you're having a fabulous day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.